Hey there, YouTube land, and today I'm going to be reviewing Pumpkinhead 2 Bloodwings. It was the sequel to the original Stan Winston film Pumpkinhead, also put up by Scream Factory. So I'm not just reviewing the movie here, I'm reviewing the whole Blu-ray as a whole. So, as you always see Giant Lobster head up front, but I brought a special guest in with this for this one here. Has, Greg Nicotero from KMB did a lot of the effects for Pumpkinhead and the creature and that, so I thought we'd bring an old zombie head, which is a nice Nicotero sculpt from The Walking Dead. Show that he definitely hasn't lost it. He gets better. So, Pumpkinhead's kind of like the classic monster movie. It was kind of a big deal back in the day because at the time that Pumpkinhead came out, there was a lot of slasher movies that were on the go. And it was kind of like the big thing, like slashers were like being done all over the place. So we hadn't had a monster movie in a long time. And Pumpkinhead was a kind of a change. It gave us like that old school monster movie again. It was the first real kind of serious man in a suit type monster movie. It was actually scary. In like probably since back in the early days. I mean, like back in the Universal days with Creature and stuff like that. So it was kind of a big deal, and it became kind of a hit that nobody really expected. So when it came time to do Pumpkinhead 2, they hired director Tony Randall, and for whatever things happened behind the scenes, and Tony Randall as director didn't work out, and he was leaving. He left the film. At the exact same time, Jeff Burr, who you guys know from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface, among many other films, basically he was leaving a film on Full Moon. And I think he was originally attached to Oblivion, but then he was supposed to do Dark Angel, and kept getting put back and pushed back and pushed back, and it was like, okay, no, I can't take this anymore. I've waited long enough. I need work. And Pumpkinhead 2's directing reins came out at that time, so he got the job for this one here. Now, when he went into it, the script was already done. So, and there's a budget that was on it, and let's just say it was a very low budget at the time, and it was kind of rushed. Now, so Burr went in with like a lot of problems going in. All the shooting stuff was already done up for them. Like, this is where you're going to shoot at. This is the money you got. This is your script. For Jeff Burr's credit, he went out and he got the original guys that did the first Pumpkinhead to help do a little bit of a polish on the script, like kind of a quick polish on some of the characterization. And certain people were already cast in the film. Amy Dolenz was already cast. She was kind of the go-to girl for this company at the time. And I got to say, Pumpkinhead 2 is a very rushed film. And, it shows it. Like, there are scenes there that are pretty... Some of the writing is pretty bad. Poor... What was her name again? Oh, God, she was in so many movies. Glenn Thurman, I think her name is. Glenn Thurman. Her character is a doctor, and I swear to God, she gets the worst lines in the entire film. Every line that she has is excruciatingly bad, and it's not that she's a bad actress. She did movies like Black Caesar and Hell in Harlem and stuff like that, but her character is so badly written, and she seems slightly miscast for the role. No fault of her own. There's a big genre cast in this film here. I mean, it's like when I originally was going to do this, I was going to like kind of make fun of this a hell of a lot more than I'm going to do right now. Pumpkinhead 2 Bloodwings. But I watched all the features on this thing. And first, I'll get into those in a little bit. But we got Amy Dolenz on here, Witchboard 2, movies like that, Mickey Dolenz's daughter. Andrew Robinson's here, playing the good guy instead of the bad guy, because he was trying to get away from the good guy roles. He was originally cast as the bad guy. And another actor was cast, I think it was Timothy Bottoms, I think, something like that. Was cast as the sheriff, but it didn't work out. And he got over to play the good girl role, and he was kind of glad because he'd been typecast. But unfortunately, although I do like Steve Canale, who played, was in Dallas, Steve Canale would have actually probably been better in the sheriff role, and Andrew Robinson would have been better in the judge role, because Andrew Robinson is really, really good at playing really bad or despicable but likable characters. watch movies like Transformers 3 or but his most famous one, Dirty Harry. We have Soleil Moon Frye in this one from Punky Brewster. And apparently she gained 20 pounds to make this movie. And at that, she's really tiny in the movie. So thank God for the movie, I guess. Hill Harper, a really young Hill Harper, is in this film, as well as one of the teenagers. He's from CSI New York. He was the doctor, right? Kind of the doctor that becomes a cop. We've got Trevor Edmond from Lord of Illusions in here, who's like a small part in Lord of Illusions. Linnea Quigley has the prerequisite nudity scene in this movie here. She does it with R.A. Maloff, who of course plays Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And thank you, Linnea Quigley, for that prerequisite nude sequence. Kane Hodder has a small role in here as well, and it's Kane Hodder from like Friday 13th and Hatchet movies. Does another great job. But everybody, it's almost like you keep looking and there's like cast member after cast member that are like from other horror movies. The old lady, see this one right here, this kind of the witch, that's the Mother Superior from Silent Night, Deadly Night. She's like a workman type actress. She's done like over 200 movies and stuff. And they did not say enough good stuff about her. And one person that really gets like a lot of credit in this movie here is Jeff Burr, the director of this film. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But as the film, Pumpkinhead starts out kind of cheesy. We get to see who Pumpkinhead was before he became the Pumpkinhead demon. He's a boy by the name of Tommy. And so Tommy is being teased and stuff a lot. Then these guys come up. It's in the 50s, and like there's this kind of like black and white flashback. And normally you get these teenagers come up and they do like the teasing thing, and there's this accidental death. But no, nothing like this. These teens come up, and they're utterly psychotic. There's like no redeeming like aspect of these teenagers. No, oops, we started to tease them, and this went out of hand. No, they come up to kill this kid. I mean, they literally come up to kill the guy. I mean, they got a switchblade. They're slicing them. They throw them down into this well thing, and then they run off. It's not like they're gonna be shot. Like, oh my God, how did that happen? Well, you were stabbing him, and you threw him to his death into this gigantic well. And then it goes to modern day times, and we meet Andrew Robinson as a sheriff, and his daughter had ran into a harsh crowd when she was in the city, so they've moved so that she can actually be well, they're hoping for a fresh start. But she's a she's kind of rebel. Her dad's a sheriff, and out of a sheriff, out of a priest type of thing. They kind of rebel, and she goes in with the bad crowd again. She meets the judge's son, and he seems, I don't know, he doesn't seem nice. I know there's certain times in the movie when he's supposed to look kind of nice, but I never really took him as nice. He always had that kind of like evil gleam to the character. Roger Clinton plays the mayor. Oh my God. Bill Clinton's brother, Roger Clinton, was a musician that dabbled in acting. And acting did not dabble back. But it's really, really, I'd get that out there. His scenes are painful. He was put in it obviously because he was Bill Clinton's like brother, and that was going to give like publicity, I'm guessing. And he did some music for the film. By the way, on the air there's a Pumpkinhead rap type of song. So if anybody knows who did the Pumpkinhead rap, just put it in the comments down below, because I haven't really Googled it yet. And the only time I Googled Pumpkinhead song, but the Roger Clinton slow song came up. And no, just leave that pain away from me. So Pumpkinhead himself, let's get to that. How does the character look? I mean, Stan Winston is it's a really big shoes to fill when you're doing it. But you know what? Greg Nicotero, the K&B guys, they did a damn good job. They're still doing damn good work. They had a low budget, and they made a really convincing creature. I think that that was probably utterly the best part of this movie. A movie called Pumpkinhead 2 should have a convincing, good-looking, like, creature outfit. And they did it. They really... That's one place where, some of the acting in this movie was pretty bad. And there are times when good actors are giving kind of bad performances because there's one take and that's it, and it's rushed. And that's the thing. But as you're finding out when you go to the behind the scenes part, uh, everybody on this movie had a great time. They loved making Pumpkinhead too. Uh, they had fun. You know, they became friends, like longtime friends, and yeah. So I would love to work on something with Nicotero because I know that if I did, it would be a riot. Anyway, they accidentally, by playing this game where they turn the car's lights off and just zoom as fast as they can, hit the old lady. But she's okay. So the accident is not the cause for what happens. But they go back and they go look for her, but they can't find her. So they go to her cabin and they find all this witch stuff. And this big grave on the outside, kind of like there's some kind of symbol type thing. And she's like, she's raising something. And so Soleil Fry, Punky Brewster's in this, by the way. And she, wow, man, she grew up really nicely. So it looks at this thing, it looks like it's red, so it could be blood. But not only is it blood, but was it cursed blood or something like that? Yeah, she knew right away. She's like, this is way, first she says, this is way beyond me. Man, all I know is the Ouija board. And then she's like, she's trying to, and there's, it looks like she's trying to raise the dead. I'm like, I don't know where they got that from. And she looks like, that's cursed blood. And, these are pages of, of a certain book. I'm like obviously you do know a lot more than you're saying. Way more than the Ouija stuff that you're saying. So, don't pretend with us. We know. We know. After that, the accidentally, well, no accident. He wants to take the blood when the old lady comes back. So everybody else leaves the cabin, and he hits the old lady with a flashlight over the head, basically, and knocks her down. And she kind of she curses them as they're going out the door. So you think, oh, well, that's it. He hit her, and she's gonna curse them, and that's the reason it's gonna happen. No, that's not it yet. We're not to the reason yet. So they get it there and they dig a grave. They dig up the grave, and I don't know, teenagers. I guess they got lots of spirit. It's not like teenagers like nowadays. We're in a 5-minute movie or something. No, they spend hours digging up this grave. When she's been struggling, I guess, in the background, crawling along, talking about, oh, Pumpkinhead will get you and stuff like this. And she knocks down the candles that are in her cabin, and the place catches on fire. So at this point, they actually flip the top of the coffin up, and he's kind of rotted stuff, the guy, and he does look like a Pumpkinhead. He only needs a pint. He looks like he's got the whole malformation. Almost looks like a stem on his head. It looks like a Pumpkinhead. So it's very it's unintentional laughter at that moment. And then Amy Dolan, she runs. She said, "I don't need this. This is not fun for me." She goes back to the old lady, and the cabin's on fire. So instead of going in to see if the old lady's there and dragging her out, she goes back to her friends to tell them that there's a fire, so that they can come back, so that they can take her and drag her away and not help anybody and say, no, don't worry, the old lady probably got out. And obviously she didn't, and the old lady's in the hospital the next day. So Pumpkinhead rises, and we get to start to see deaths, a lot of kind of cameos and kind of what I would consider stunt casting, but actually it was friends of Jeff Burr, because he was a horror film fan and he did horror movies before that. So, he had people that he worked with that he knew. Like I mentioned before, R.A. Milhoff, Linnea Quigley, the Mother Superior from Salt Lake Deadly Night. Just an incredible cast of genre actors. The movie's fun. I mean, the movie never gets boring. There's never a boring scene in this movie. It runs 88 minutes, I think, about.
It's campy.
88 minutes. It does come across as kind of campy, though the director says he really didn't do it in a campy way. Didn't want to make it campy. But I think a lot of the fun that comes off on the screen, why this movie doesn't come off as as a cash grab or a failure or anything like that, is because the actors were having so much fun behind the scenes that it really shows in the movie. And the fact that the director was really good with the actors, and he really let them do their thing and have fun with it. Jeff Burr is a director that if you were an actor, you would want to work with Jeff Burr, because you know you would have a fun time, and everybody that talks about Jeff Burr on there really talks about what a great guy he is. And coming into that, like, basically, I'm not going to get in, like, ruin it for you or anything like that. I really do think this is a Scream Factory one that does belong in everyone's collection. Get yourself Pumpkinhead and Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. Is this, like, the quality, like, movie that Pumpkinhead is? No, it's a very different type of movie. They're both monster movies. They're both very cheesy. The deaths are pretty good in this one here. But the Pumpkinhead himself, the creature, is done really well. Mark Kraken, who does who's inside the suit, does a great job. And we get some pretty cool stuff. Great actors. Linnea Quigley's naked, so you want your boob shots. Linnea Quigley will give you your boob shots, so there's your exploitation boob shots. And they are fantastic. Although I didn't recognize her at first. She was a little bit older than she was back in '84 or so. She's about 4 years older, so 4 years. How long was this one done? No, she's like 10 years older. So wow, she actually did look really good. And the movie's a fun splatter. What do you think?
I think it was entertaining, and the thing I didn't like was the fact that they needed to add in explanations on certain characters or backstories, so they used them in dialogues in people that had no business knowing that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. That made the dialogue funnier because it just didn't make sense that they would say these things. So with the doctor or with that girl.
Yeah, like...
It made it campy because it was just ridiculous.
It was like lines came out of nowhere. Where like...
They would explain part of the plot, but
yeah.
they had no business knowing that. The creature was amazing. I think they did a great job with that. Well, the acting was silly, but I mean, overall, I think it was an entertaining movie.
I thought the lead guy, I guess the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah.
I thought, not the father one, but the younger one.
Yeah.
I thought he actually did a good job in as far as anybody taking their craft, I guess, seriously with the movie.
Yeah.
He seemed to be more into the whole character
than. You didn't like him, which was the point.
Yeah, and he did a good job with that.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, we had a lot of fun with this movie. There were some groan-worthy moments, but nothing that
That made it fun.
Yeah, it did. We laughed at parts where probably I don't know if we were supposed to laugh, but it was fun to laugh at, and we. And
the features on this made it even more worthwhile.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you watch the movie and you're like, oh, this is kind of cheesy and stuff like that, you will appreciate this movie 10 times more as you're watching the features on here.
Yeah.
There's I think it must have been about an hour interview with Jeff Burr, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The director, and he comes off as a really nice guy. He talks about other projects that he worked on as well. It's really well done. Yeah, he's honest. So he will let you know exactly where he thinks the problems went with the movie. He's very apologetic, which he doesn't have to be, because I think he did a great job. He did seem a little bit.
Well.
And you know what? He doesn't have to be, because he did, like you were saying, he did the best job that he could do. And with all the stuff that was going on. And he's very honest, that doctor has horrible lines.
Yeah.
And he said it wasn't her fault. She was acting bad. Her lines are atrocious. And he's out and out, he'll say it. And when we get to the second part, and I was not sure that I was going to like it, actually, the special effects, Greg Nicotero, Gino Crognelli, and Mark McCracken, who they interview them, and I thought, is this going to be like a more technical, more boring one? Oh my God, no! They are funny. It is the best thing on this Blu-ray. We actually laughed out loud at a couple of the stories that they told behind the scenes. I won't give them away, but let's just say they got thrown off set a few times. Things that happened to that poor suit even before the movie started. There's a lot of great stuff to listen to. You will definitely get your money's worth with Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. It's got a great transfer, by the way. You'd like to transfer the film?
Yeah, that's good.
The sound is incredible. And I love this Pumpkinhead rap. I got it stuck in my head. I mean, I got it muted right now because, you don't get dinged by YouTube and stuff like that for music. But the songs, just find the song. This Pumpkinhead 2 theme song rap, you can't. It's great. I mean, you can't. It's cheesy. It perfectly suits the movie.
It embodies the 90s cheesiness.
It does. It is fun.
Yeah.
So this could have been one that I did with my bad, Ventures in B movies thing, but I'm gonna give it a B above that. And just for people that I said there are movies that I did when I did the reversible covers. The Pumpkinhead 2 does also have a reversible cover, and actually here it is right here. So get a good shot of that. Revenge Never Dies, Pumpkinhead 2. So I wish they would have had like a slip cover so I could actually kind of turn it around, because they actually got a really nice picture of the creature right there. So
I kind of prefer it to the first one, believe it or not.
really,
I do.
that's probably gonna get like, we're gonna get hate for that. But I don't know. I like the first one. I think it's a really good like kind of.
The first one was way too serious, and it was tragic, and well, I guess it was a horror.
The first one is an actual. You're not a horror
but
fan.
it was too down. It's such a downer. This one, the origin, yes, it was. Like, I understand what he said when he said he never tried to do a campy movie.
Yeah.
But he did lighten the tone, compared to the first one. And in all honesty, I actually did enjoy this one better than I did enjoy the first one. And I don't care if people get upset about that. It's entertainment value, and I got more entertainment from this one than I did the first one.
Oh well, no. If you ever bring it 3 and 4, we'll check to see how the Sci-Fi Channel did with the Pumpkinhead series, because that's who did it afterwards. Sci-Fi Channel did 3 and 4, I think. But no, Jeff Burr. I love Jeff Burr's work. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3: Leatherface is actually probably my favorite of all the sequels. I mentioned that on here many, many times.
Which one is it?
That's the one with the Viggo Mortensen and the big Saw's family.
Yeah.
It's got, Ken Foree, isn't it? He's like the truck driver, and he did that big fight and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And the little girl has that doll that's kind of like a skull. Yeah, if you ever see Leatherface, make sure you see the unrated cut, because it's the best cut. There's no the R-rated cut. Just forget that one. But again, Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. What do I give this recommendation? Oh man, I'm definitely recommending it. I'm recommending it as a must-have for Scream Factory. I'm not going to give this like a 1 out of 10 or anything like that. It's not going to get a cheesy rating like that. So here, you take my glasses off. Zombie head. You couldn't leave Dead Enough alone. Love that. I love that. Pumpkinhead 2. What do you think? What do you give it?
I don't know. 3.5 fire trucks.
Fire trucks. I like that. I'm gonna up that, and I'm gonna say 4 Blood Wings. Oh, sorry, Red Wings. Red Wings. Oh God, yes. The one serious mistake I think they made was kind of cheesy. The whole red wing thing. That it goes a little overboard with that concept. There's one scene where one of the main villains is like, he comes out of his house and like you expect to see like a red wing like put in the house, like kind of like looks like a red bat actually. They're drawn, but they're all over the place. It's like Pumpkinhead just came to the house. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm doodling like crazy. I'm pissing him off," and he doodles the whole place up. So you have to imagine that this has been a few minutes, just a minute or two that he's left. So Pumpkinhead, this lumbering huge monster, is coming to his house. When within 1 minute, as I don't know, super turbocharged fast and doodled everything all around. And then got out and comes back in again.
To get in.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how that works, but
Anyway, it's magic.
Magic. We'll go. Yeah, magic. Maybe Pumpkinhead at a helper. Zombie head. Maybe zombie head helped out. What do you think? You're small enough to get in there. Thanks for watching, guys. For me right now, it really is time for tea. Have a great night. So it's hello from Zombie Head, Giant Lobster Head, and my guest star, my better half, who enjoyed this movie with me. And she, well, give her credit because she doesn't watch many horror movies, but she did have fun with this one, and we did watch the other Pumpkinhead together. Have a great night, guys, and if you look in the background, and you've been watching there, I purposely left the Pumpkinhead 2 screen on there so you guys can see some of the scenes from the film. Have a great one.